Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. We're blasting off here this morning on the Today in AZ After Show. A little space oddity. David Bowie and company setting the scene for our conversation topic this morning. We'll get to that in a second. But first, from left to right, I'm Paul, that's Rachel, that's Vanessa, and that's Kristen Keogh hosting the Today in AZ After Show today. How are you guys dealing with 114-degree temperatures?
What's the biggie?
This is her first summer, by the way.
This is my first summer. I'm like, oh, jeez.
You must have spent the whole day inside yesterday.
No, I was outside. Yes.
My thing is the humidity.
Yeah, there's less today.
Humidity.
A little
For
less.
us, yesterday was.
You guys.
Yeah.
What is the humidity? Give me
Okay,
the number.
so here's the thing. I hear that a lot from people who have experienced the South.
Like real humidity?
And I understand that, but it's just that us Arizonans,
What's the number? Give me
we
a number.
are okay with, like, you know, I don't want to say it, the dry heat. I hate that term because it's just so annoying. But
is
it's
a
true.
dry heat.
We can handle 122 if it's dry, but 114 and you get the dew point in 50s and
What
60s.
are you talking about?
I can't do it.
Is that what the dew point is right now? Or are we just...
Yesterday.
The dew
I
point
don't
right
need-
now is about 55, 56
Oh,
at last
geez.
check. Yesterday it was in the 60s.
Okay, no. So we're in the land where I come from, this place called Texas. You measure. You don't need dew points. You don't need anything like that. You just walk outside, and if your hair grows
Yeah.
a giant afro like mine does, then it's humid. I walk outside here. I left the salon. I walked out. My hair's still flat. I'm like, there's no humidity here.
I
My
will
hair
say,
is engaged.
when I lived in San Diego for 2 years, which also isn't that humid, but it's still
it's
more humid than Arizona, where I've spent the majority of my life, I was like, how do you guys do your hair here? Like, what do
you
you
don't.
do?
You put it in a ponytail.
I have friends from Arizona who dreamed of beach weddings and refused to have that beach wedding because they
your
wanted to have a good hair day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling. I mean, when you stand outside, you're not really even sweating. I know what you.
Oh, I disagree.
Perhaps you prefer a place where there is no weather, like outer space. Let's get to our topic today. On the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission, today was the day they launched from Kennedy Space Center. They land on the moon on Saturday. That'll be the 50th anniversary.
This is interesting.
NASA has released a list of songs that astronauts listened to on the way to the moon. Now, I don't think
That wasn't
that was the list.
There's no Beyonce in
Particular. Beyonce did
1969.
not exist back then unless there was some element of time travel.
Ah, but that would have been interesting.
Maybe the list is just like stuff that
This is
NASA
things they want
astronauts
you
listen
to
to now, like
Yeah.
in general. Yeah, that would make a little more sense. So
the anniversary.
There's the list one more time.
Yeah.
Speed of Sound by Coldplay, Here Comes the Sun, the Beatles. You get it. So we're
Yes.
asking you this morning, if you were headed to space, let's say you're on Apollo, I don't even know what this would be, 18, 19, I forget how many Apollo missions they did. Let's say you're headed to the moon right now.
Yeah.
What is on your playlist? What are you listening to? Now, I think there's a few factors to keep in mind here.
Okay.
One, I think you're going to want something with like a spacey theme just for the sake of this discussion. Two, I think you're going to want something that is able to calm your mind a little bit because I imagine that space travel is extremely stressful.
Sure.
And three,
Or you want to get pumped.
I'd want to get
I want to
That
get
would
pumped.
work.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I have
Okay,
one
give me a
mode,
song.
and it's pumped.
give me a song.
I told
Blast
you-
off. Where are you going?
Well, because we were talking earlier, and I was saying I feel like, well, now you're posing it different. So I was thinking maybe you do something from the '60s to launch off of. Like, so
Okay.
I'm thinking, I'm feeling Doors. You know, I want something kind of hard rock, sexy. I got to get pumped up. Right?
So you're gonna listen to Pitbull?
Oh yeah, you gotta have a little Pitbull in there.
It's
but then
going
once you're
down.
in actual space, and you know it slows down and it gets super quiet, then I think you want your chill, relaxed Zen.
I think, yeah, like some post-rock music once you're up there. Like
Yeah.
no lyrics, just like
Yeah.
slow driving, electric
Just in
guitar.
awe, because I'm guessing you're looking around, you're taking it all in. Like I just want kind of a quiet jam.
I gotta find a song
slow
for it.
rock.
This is Holy Wars, The Punishment Due by Megadeth. It is the most rocking song that has ever existed. Let me
This will
go
get your
ahead
day.
to the
Oh my
guitar
God.
solo part. Hold on. Hold on. Nope. It picks up here.
Getting images of Paul and his
This is it.
years.
This is when we're going to the moon.
I do not want to go to the moon with you.
Oh my God. You're literally now
Oh,
every
come on
guy I
now.
went to high school with. You just became that guy.
The guitar here is ridiculous.
I am never going on a road trip with you, ever.
Oh, baby. Come on.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he's gonna mess up his hair. It's
No,
happening,
it's better
people.
now. All right, anyway.
It didn't move.
So that's that.
False alarm, people. It did not move.
I can't make it stop now.
I think you could do some rap if you're not into Paul's genre here. I think
metal.
some rap would do. Like, you know what's been really getting me going lately is Drake's Money in the Grave.
Oh, that's good stuff.
When I die, I put my money in the grave. Like, if you're going to space, you're going to make a lot of freaking money. So that would be a good
Really?
song.
Do they just give astronauts money? Is
I
that
think
how that
they-
works?
You get on the speaking circuit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then you can write a
and
book,
whatnot.
and you're a
Yes.
millionaire. Okay, you're not.
First, you just walk out. People roll you out,
Yeah.
and they're like, you've been in space. There's only so many of them.
You're gonna have a lot of money to put in the
Get
grave.
a lot of
okay?
tail,
so
I'm
the song
guessing.
could be applied.
Astronauts.
And then I think that once you're cruising, you're enjoying space. You want something mellow. I like when I want some chill music. I listen to the band Arizona and Khalid. I love me some Khalid.
Yeah, he's good.
Vanessa, what do you got?
I don't know. I said earlier, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, because everybody's just paying attention
that's
to you. What you're going to say.
good. I like
you know?
that.
All eyes on me.
Yeah.
I got a mix though. It'd be like Michael Jackson because I want to do the moonwalk, while I'm up there. Or try anyway. See if it would work. I don't know.
Pepsi would love to put that in a commercial, I'm sure.
they would.
Let's get to some of the viewers. Tony says Major Tom, the Bowie song. That's Space Oddity. That's the one we quoted at the top of the show. Rocket Man from Chantel, little Elton John. How about Bruno Mars from Mass here?
I love Sabruno.
Rocket Man says Lindsey Thompson as well.
Yeah, a couple people say we got
Talking to the moon.
Freebird. Wait, did you already say Danger Zone?
No, we did not do
already
Danger
say
Zone.
that?
That's a good one.
Ryan said
Yes.
Danger Zone. That's a really good one.
Amanda with a couple of Avenged Sevenfold tracks, Higher and Exist. There's some electric guitar for you.
Ooh,
right
Kim
there.
said Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Maybe that's once you get in orbit,
Yeah.
and then you're just in awe. I like that.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Little Beatles, courtesy
like
Marissa in
that.
the comment section. Hey Jude, more Beatles from Carrie. Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra. How did we get this far without old Blue Eyes?
No, I thought that was on there.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so that was on the original.
I like
Well,
Nate.
good
Hello,
choice.
darkness,
Spotify
my old
list.
friend. See, anything like that is very
Jesus on the Dashboard from Pritchard. Keith Urban's John Cougar, John Deere. Okay, I don't know if that's a song. Is that
It
a
is,
song by
it
Keith
is. That's
Urban?
a song.
John
Could be.
Cougar, John Deere, John 316.
That's
I have not heard that.
Ooh, Spirit in the Sky. That's really good.
I love
song
that
is on my
song.
road trip playlist.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Let's take a break from this discussion. We'll get back to it in a minute if you guys have any other good moon jams. In the meantime, ICYMI, in case you missed Today in AZ this morning, you missed our discussion about a pregnant woman who just gave birth without ever knowing she was pregnant.
Now to a 12 News exclusive. A Valley woman got the shock of a lifetime. Katie Wilkinson claims she went to the hospital with what she thought was abdominal pain, but she delivered a baby instead. She didn't know or even think that she was pregnant, telling 12 News she had no symptoms of a normal pregnancy.
No cramping, no lactation, no fatigue, no back pain.
None. And she had it so bad the first time.
Baby Veronica was born Friday. Katie tells us she has a medical condition called polycystic ovary syndrome, or POS, which occasionally gives her doubled over with pain. But when she got to the hospital Friday, she knew something was different. She says she went to the restroom and then delivered her baby right there on the bathroom floor. Thankfully, we're happy to say that both mom and baby are all right. Well, a lot of people are reacting to this story on the 12 News Facebook page. Jack is saying, how's this even possible? Maybe you don't know for a few months, but full term? Yeah, the baby was born at 34 weeks. Rachel says, unless you have personally dealt with PCOS and the severity and pain and other symptoms that go along with it, well, you may not know what she was experiencing. We had a lot of folks saying stories, hey, my sister was born, my mother had no idea she was pregnant. 7.5 months. So you do hear these stories. I cannot
Absolutely
imagine.
Wild.
I definitely knew.
Okay, guys, ladies, I defer to you here.
Okay, wait. There's a whole TV show on this. I watched it.
I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah, and it's like seeing everybody's stories. I was like, wow. And some of them were even like young, athletic, fit girls. And it was like, how did that even happen? Like, wouldn't you get a little belly bump?
First of all, I was saying there's a foot that literally you can see it comes out of your body like an alien.
It moves,
You
right?
can't
And
see
feel
that
it.
of your partner when you're lying in bed and there's a foot sticking out of your stomach. How do you not see that? It doesn't look like food.
Listen,
she did have a
I
medical
look like a
condition.
food baby.
I
did have a
know
medical
very
condition.
little about babies or anything having to do with motherhood, so I'm just going to keep myself out of this one. I will say this. I do have a painful chronic condition that I've dealt with since 2013. So when it comes to the pain side of it, when you live with something like that, you are so used to being in pain that it doesn't really faze you anymore, and I can relate to that. And so when you start to get weird health symptoms, you know, you just kind of write them off. Like, oh, it's probably just related to that chronic condition.
Yeah. She was like, oh, she says she was doubled over in pain a lot of times because of the PCOS. So she was just like, you know, I thought it was just another. But I didn't. And then she said she actually lost weight during this
the
time
pregnancy,
period.
yeah.
So
That
that's
is
also
wild.
Abnormal.
unusual.
Let's look at it this way. Because we can't really address her medical condition. Like, let's attack this from a different angle. What would you do if you went to the hospital for what you thought was abdominal pain and went home with a kid?
Oh my gosh.
Like, how do you? Because there's no preparation
Right?
involved there.
Well, she had another one, at least
this
in
is
her
her
case.
third, actually.
Okay.
So, like, she thankfully has experience as a mother and probably has a crib around or something. You know
I'm
what I
going to
mean?
be honest. For me, that's like best case scenario.
I know.
I would
I'm
have
kind of thinking the same thing.
I would have anxiety about becoming
Yeah.
a mom. There's so many fears
Yeah.
related to welcoming a baby into the world. I feel like that's actually best case scenario. Like no hassle. You don't go through
You didn't
really much
spend
of
7 or 9 months stressing about being pregnant, if it's going to be healthy, and then like, pop it out, ready to go.
You know what?
All right.
I hate like one-on-one attention. Like I hate parties when they're
I
about
was
me.
gonna say, what about the baby shower?
No, if I could skip the baby shower, sign me up. Maybe this is
I think it's a blessing in disguise. Yes, I mean it was a healthy pregnancy. Fortunately, the baby seems to be doing pretty well. It's,
Yeah,
34
Paul, you
weeks
said the
is not
baby
bad
might
at
be able
all,
to go
so.
home on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, baby's still in the NICU right now, but all signs are good at this point.
Good. Yeah.
Good,
So
good. She's
I
so
do
cute.
think best case scenario. You're like bonus baby. Everybody's happy. We already have the stuff.
pretty
It's their third, so you don't need much at the beginning.
Yeah, but what if
It's a
it was your
positive outlook.
first? You're like, hey, I would call my sister and be like, hey, can you go buy like a crib and like some diapers?
Right.
You know what? I'd be like in the hospital room, Amazon priming like everything I needed.
Oh,
for
well, it was
baby.
Prime Day Monday too, so
It
even
was.
better.
Yeah, she could have gotten a good deal.
Done it.
When I had appendicitis in December, I was in the hospital room and the surgeon comes in and it was really unexpected that I was going to have to be operated on, you know, because you've had an appendectomy yourself. They come in and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to operate, which nobody really prepared me for. The first thing I did, they said, you can't lift anything over 10 pounds for 8 weeks. I immediately thought of my dog Ace, who's about 18 pounds, and I lift him up onto my bed every day. So the first thing I did was I went on Amazon and I bought him dog stairs.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
He still uses them too.
Modern
so
problems,
he's
modern
benefiting.
solutions.
He's like, this is amazing for everyone involved.
Thanks,
I got my
Mom.
stairs.
Yeah, I think that
lost
the doctor
an
thought I was
appendix.
a lunatic, which maybe I am. My dog has stairs to my bed, so yes, I'm crazy.
Well, that settles it. Let's get to some fresh squeezed juice, shall we? We haven't done this segment in a minute. Vanessa, what do we got?
All right, so it might be time to confess. More than half of people have a favorite parent. Researchers found that 40% of people say they prefer mom over dad, but that changes throughout our lives. Most people start out liking mom best and then move to team dad around age 13.
Oh my gosh.
20% of men describe themselves as a mama's boy, and 30% of women say they're a daddy's girl.
Where do you guys fall on the
Wow.
spectrum?
I do think that the relationships change, and it's kind
Yeah.
of cool. I actually think it's pretty special how the relationship changes throughout your life and into adulthood, because I definitely was like so attached to my mom growing up, and my mom stayed home with the 5 of us kids, and my dad worked and ran a business, and I just feel like, you know, he didn't really have the time to connect with us in the same way as my mom did, so there wasn't like quite the same closeness that I had with my mom. But now that I'm older, my dad and I have so much in common. And as I've gotten older, I've realized like, wow, we have so many interests and our personalities are so similar as an adult that I definitely feel like I have a closeness with my dad now that I didn't when I was little.
For me, it was the opposite. I was definitely close to my dad growing up. I was daddy's little girl. I would want to go to work with him. I would wake up early on Saturdays just to go to work with him.
So sweet.
And hang out with him all day. But yeah, so definitely. But then as I got older, obviously, you know, more in my, I'd say like my late teen years, I decided I was switched over to my mom because, you know, she's a female. You can talk about more things.
And you're
they're
going through a lot as a
understanding.
teenage girl.
So
sure.
I switched over. Yeah, but obviously I love them both equally. They are amazing. But, you know.
Now, my parents were good cop, bad cop. So my mom was always the bad cop, still is, and my dad was always the good cop. He would get upset with us, but he would always make my mom do the dirty work.
My
Hands are always clean. So yeah, but growing up, I was definitely more of a daddy's girl probably because I would go with him to work all day Saturday, loved it. He would take us to do all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then, but then as you get older and you become becoming a woman and whatnot, you start to bond with your mom, and then we became really close. But yeah, it's definitely like, I feel like a good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I think it ebbs and flows.
Yes.
What do you think?
I was a mama's boy when I was a
Okay.
kid. I think like in the early stages of my emotional development, I was very much like my mother's oldest son. And then like as I got older and moved away and everything, I definitely relate more with my dad just because I think that a lot of men become more like their fathers as they get older, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. We don't need to get into the Freudian side of things, but I think I agree. Like I share more interests. I think mentally we're maybe more similar. It's interesting though, especially when you don't see your parents too often. You know, when you live far away and you go back and you're reminded of like the similarities that you have with your parents when you see them. I don't know.
It's so true. And it's funny because I will find characteristics about myself where I really understand how much they made me who I am today. Not even by anything they particularly like said or did to try to make me a certain way, but just because I saw the way they were and it became such a huge part of my personality. Like my dad just thinks he can do pretty much whatever he wants and he makes things happen and he just creates the exact life that he wants. And sometimes I find myself thinking like, why do I think I can like go do these things and I can have these things that I want? And I'm like, oh, it's because my dad does whatever he wants. It's just the way that it is.
So true. I got my work ethic.
Go ahead, Sally. You got something? No. Let's wrap up the conversation here with some more of your Moon playlist here. We have a whole bunch of new submissions here as people were joining the show. Russell wants to hear the Baby Shark song on the Moon.
Oh, that would get old after a while.
Oh my gosh, everyone else would be mad at you.
No, thank you. Space Cowboy, Steve Miller. How did we get this far in the discussion without Space Cowboy? Was that on the original list? It might have been.
I don't remember.
I don't recall.
I know that we talked about it during the show, and I think that we played it during the newscast.
Forbes is joking about better see you at Area 51 in relation to that Facebook event that everyone's been talking about, storming Area 51. But there is another song by Megadeth called Hangar 18, which is technically about Area 51. Just saying, if you guys want to hear some more shredding tunes, I could put them on for you on the way out.
That's a different topic. That's for the conversation about what songs you want to hear as you're going to uncover the aliens.
Start Me Up by Rolling Stones. I like that one too.
That is a good choice. Somebody wrote in here the Baby Shark song. No,
Baby Shark. What about the taco?
tongue-in-cheek.
It's raining tacos.
I do love that.
I thought you were going to say
nugget?
it's raining.
It's raining.
Oh my gosh, that's for the return.
That is for the return. Well done. That's a good place to leave it. More after show tomorrow at 7:30. Whoever said this is a super lame show, we'll try to be super less lame tomorrow for you. That's all I can
Maybe
promise.
I'm probably going to be the same.
I might be more lame just to spite you. We'll see you at 7:30. Be good, people.
Great day.